thank you very much. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and a warm welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where obvious answers mean nothing and obscure answers mean everything. Let's meet today's players. So, welcome, Paul and Mark. You're our first pair on the show today. How do you two know each other?
Me and Mark are work colleagues, worked together for about 2.5 years, and we've become great friends.
Great friends. What do you do, Mark?
I'm a welder fabricator. I build casting machines for the foundry industry.
Very, very good. And how about you, Paul?
I'm a fitter. I build the machines as well, and then go out and commission them, fit them in and commission them.
What are you hoping is going to come up this afternoon?
Well, a bit of sport.
Bit of geography.
A bit of soaps.
OK, well, very, very best of luck. It's brilliant having you here. Anyway, thanks so much for playing. Next, we welcome Patrick and Kim, our second pair on the show. How do you two know each other?
We're both students at the University of Sheffield, both do the same degree as well, so there's quite a lot in common already. We're also boyfriend and girlfriend, and we were in the same halls of residence in first year, so we met there.
You met in the first year?
Yeah.
How long into the first year?
First couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't that?
Very, and where did you meet?
It's a slightly embarrassing story, if I'm honest. Embarrassing for me. I have very occasionally been known to indulge in the odd bit of sleepwalking.
Yeah.
And I got a bit confused.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Drunk.
Then sleptwalked into my flat and fell asleep on the sofa for me to come home and find this random person asleep on my sofa.
Yeah.
And then when you see someone...
Patrick, do you have any history of sleepwalking at all? Be honest, before that.
Not since childhood, so I don't know. Maybe I was regressing a bit to...
Yeah, maybe regressing a bit.
I don't know.
But either way, it's brilliant having you here. Very best of luck to the pair of you this afternoon. And next, we welcome Jess and Mary. Now, how do you two know each other?
We're mother and daughter, and we live together.
Very. Where do you live together?
We live in Canvey Island, in Essex.
Canvey Island in Essex. Very good. Mary, what do you do?
I work as a mental health researcher throughout the area, London and Essex.
And how about you, Jess?
I'm at uni training to be a doctor.
Training to be a doctor. What year are you in?
I'm in 4th year.
4th of how many years?
5, so only 1 more to go.
And what? And then you go into your sort of housemanship or whatever it's called. I don't know.
Then we have 2 years kind of on the job training.
Right.
Just in case 5 wasn't enough.
Yeah. Oh, nothing like enough. Mary, whose idea was it to come on the show?
Jessica's initially, but I wanted to come because I wanted to meet Richard. Which I have now.
Which... Well, hang on, you said that you sound almost disappointed.
No, I'm not.
He's quite something, isn't he, Richard?
He is, yes.
Yeah. Very, very best of luck to the pair of you. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
And finally, we welcome back Troy and Stefan. Everyone gets 2 chances to reach the Pointless final, and this is your second chance. You were on the show last time. Remind us how you did.
Not too well, unfortunately. We were out in the first round. I had a 50-50 between 2 possible answers, and I picked the wrong one.
And remind us what you do, Troy.
I'm a flight attendant, working out of Heathrow. So
on long haul?
Travel all over the world, long haul, America, Asia, Africa, you name it.
I'm so pleased, Troy, that you've come in your uniform today.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I was so scared you guys would upstage me, so I thought I'd better go the extra mile.
You've toned your trousers down since last time.
Yeah,
Troy.
just the leather pants today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Stefan, positively humdrum there. Look at that, in your jeans and your... Yeah, very, yeah. What do you do outside of work, Troy?
I like to play a bit of tennis, do some yoga, and when I'm feeling really energetic at home, I do the vacuuming in my undies. Because our flat is really warm, and it's just purely for practical purposes.
OK, very good. Stefan, how about you?
When I'm not watching him doing the vacuum cleaning, I'll maybe go to the gym, do a bit of running and other things as well.
Very best of luck to the pair of you. It's great to have you back. We'll find out more about all of you throughout the show. There's only one person left for me to introduce. If there's something obscure in your neighbourhood, who are you going to call? Why, my pointless friend, it's Richard. Oh, yeah. Hello.
Yeah. How are you this afternoon?
I'm very well indeed. I've got a question for you. What kind of a show have we got?
We've got a great show.
Yeah.
We've got a great show. Very big jackpot today. It's built up quite a lot, hasn't it? So it should be a lot of fun. We've only got one returning pair, and that's Troy and Stefan, and they got knocked out in the first round. But, guys, the returning pair's always at an advantage, so we should see you going a little bit further today. I hope so, very much. But it should be very open and a lot of money to win at the end of it.
Thanks very much, Richard. Now, we put all our questions to 100 people before the show, but this is pointless, so we are after the obscure answers they didn't get. Now, what everyone's trying to do, of course, is to find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Now, no one won the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that, so today's jackpot starts off at £11,000. There's a jackpot. Right, let's play pointless. Right, in the first round, each of you must give me one answer and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated, so be very careful, that's not you. If anyone gives me an incorrect answer, they will score the maximum of 100 points. OK, our first category this afternoon is movie stars. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Nicolas Cage films as they could.
Yeah, we're looking for any feature film made for general cinema release for which Nicolas Cage received an acting credit up to the start of 2011. As always, TV films, short films and documentaries don't count, but voice performances do. There are 57 films on this list.
Paul and Mark, you all drew lots before the show, and this afternoon you get to go first.
Yeah. I'm going to go for Bangkok Dangerous, because I don't think it was as successful as the rest of them.
Let's see, you're hoping to score as few points as possible. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Bangkok Dangerous. It's right. It's right. Down it goes. Oh, very well done, Mark. That's a cracking answer. 1 point. 1 point for Bangkok Dangerous. Richard.
Yes, a great start. From 2008, Nicolas Cage plays a hitman who travels to Bangkok, but then falls in love.
Ooh, dangerous.
It is dangerous, isn't it? Should be very careful if you fall in love in Bangkok.
You should be careful if you fall in love in Bangkok.
You
I begin to see.
No.
Yeah. Now then, Kim, what's the most obscure Nicolas Cage film you can summon up?
I can think of quite a few, but I think the one I'm going to go for is pretty bad. It's called Weatherman.
Weatherman. You're saying Weatherman. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Weatherman. It's right. Down it comes. Another lovely low score. Look at that, Kim. That's brilliant. Very well done indeed. 3 points for Weatherman.
Yeah, well played, Kim. Good answer so far. Yes, he plays a Chicago weatherman, Nicolas Cage. Michael Caine is also in it. Should have called it Chicago Dangerous, because, again, you shouldn't watch it. I remember that woman you bought from Bangkok. Remember her?
That's my wife. That's my wife you're talking about there. Yes, but it's all fine.
And again, I say she.
Mary.
Yes.
We're looking for a Nicolas Cage film.
You may be looking for a very long time. I'm going to go for something that I'm not sure about, which is The Serpent.
OK, you're not sure.
No.
The Serpent. You're hoping to score as few points as possible with The Serpent. Very best of luck, Mary. The Serpent. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said The Serpent. Bad luck, Mary. Bad luck. It sounded really good. Unfortunately, it's an incorrect answer, though. So I'm afraid it scores you the maximum of 100 points. I'm awfully sorry. The Serpent, Richard.
Yeah, not a Nicolas Cage film, I'm afraid, though it is the wrestling name of Alexander's third wife.
Yes. OK, now then, Troy.
Alexander.
Troy, we come to you. What is the most obscure Nicolas Cage film you can pluck from thin air?
Steph is going to kill me, but this is an actor I'm not a specialist in at all, so I'm just going to have to go for a complete stab in the dark and say 7.
7, you're saying. You're hoping to score as few points as possible. Let's see if 7 is correct, and if it is, let's see how many people said 7. Yes, I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, which means you also score the maximum of 100 points. Sorry, Troy. Richard?
Yeah, lots of people stabbed in the dark in Seven, but it's not a Nicolas Cage film, I'm afraid.
OK, thank you very much. Well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores as they stand. Well, it's a very broad field. On 1 point, Mark and Paul. Very, very well done, Bangkok. Dangerous. Then up to 3 points for Kim and Patrick. And then we come up with some films that, in one case, possibly does exist. It's just, it's not. I'd be very surprised if there isn't a film called The Serpent somewhere. And Troy, 7, it is a film. I'm afraid it's not one that Nicolas Cage is in. So, yes, 2 massive scores there. Stefan and Jess, you are going to have to tussle it out between you to see who stays with us for the next round and who will be leaving us. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we are looking for Nicolas Cage films. Now then, Stefan, you're the high scorers, joint high scorers with Jess and Mary on 100 points. You've got to really, really delve for an obscure Nicolas Cage film. Do you think you can do it?
I know a few, and the one I'm going to say, I'm not sure it's pointless or even close to pointless, but I'm going to say it because I always want to do this. Face off. Face off. So that's what I'm saying.
Do you know what? I'm so glad you've spent so long looking forward to that, because it was, I'm telling you now, it was worth it. That was amazing. Face off. OK, you have no red line because you are the high scorers. Let's just see how Face Off does, and let's hope it goes as low as it possibly can. Best of luck, Stefan. Face Off. Well done. 22. Very well done, Stefan. 22, that scores you, takes your total up to 122. Richard?
Yeah, well done, Stefan. Obviously, he starred in Face Off, and a good mime as well. I'd like to see you mime Bangkok Dangerous now, please.
Now then, Jess, we are looking for Nicolas Cage films. You are on 100 points. The high scorers on 122 are Stefan and Troy. If you can score 21 or less, you are through to the next round. What do you think, Jess?
I'm going to say National Treasure 2.
National Treasure 2. There is your red line. If National Treasure 2 gets you below that line, you are through to the next round. National Treasure 2. You're right. You are right. And you are through to the next round. Very well done, you, Jess. National Treasure 2 scores 7, an excellent score. Takes your total up to 107. You are through to the next round. Very well done. National Treasure 2, Richard.
Yeah, well played, Jess, from 2007, National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets. He plays a sort of a treasure hunter, Nicolas Cage, and in that one he's looking for the secret of Lincoln's assassination.
OK, so then, Patrick, we come to you. You are through to the next round, whatever happens. Even if you score 100 points, you won't overtake their high score of 122.
I was going to go for Face Off, but I don't think I could rival Stefan's gesture, so I won't try to, and also it's been taken. But so I'm going to go for another Cage classic. I'll go for Con Air.
Con Air, you're saying. Let's see how many people said Con Air. Not a bad answer, Patrick. 16 for Con Air takes your total up to 19.
Yeah, well played, Patrick, from 1997 with John Malkovich and John Cusack set aboard a plane full of convicts.
Now then, Paul. Brilliant low score there from Mark. Doesn't matter what you score here, you're through to the next round, come what may. So why not see if you can find a truly pointless Nicolas Cage film?
I don't think I'm not really a big film buff anymore. I think I know a film, though. It was in with Sean Connery. I think it was called The Rock.
OK, yes, we're looking for Nicolas Cage films. Paul has just said The Rock. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said The Rock. There it is. 9 points for The Rock. Very well done, Paul. That takes your total up to 10.
Yeah, The Rock, Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage. Michael Bay, who Made Transformers and all sorts of things. He made it. Should we take a look at some pointless answers? Let's take a look at some pointless Nicolas Cage films. The Oscar-nominated adaptation he was in. He was one of the voices on G-Force, Guarding Tess. These are all pointless answers. Moonstruck, where Cher makes a play for him next, and Racing with the Moon. All pointless answers. Very well done if you said any of those at home.
Thank you very much, Richard. So at the end of round one, the losing pair with the highest score, it's Troy and Staffan. Well, this wasn't meant to happen at all.
I think if I was Troy and I was just going to say a random film, instead of 7, I'd have said Troy.
Was that one of the answers?
That would have been... No, it wasn't, but... It would have scored the same amount of points.
Oh, well, I might as well have said it.
What have you learnt from Pointless? I hope you'll be taking something away.
Well, keep it glam. Keep it glamorous.
Keep it glamorous.
Gorgeous.
You said it, Troy. Very well done. Well, listen, it's been brilliant having you on the show. I'm so sorry. It's our loss that we lose you so early on, because you are absolutely fantastic contestants.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for playing. Brilliant. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Now, quite obviously, only 2 pairs can make it through to the head-to-head, so one team is going to be leaving us at the end of this round. OK, our category for round 2 is... it's words. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first and who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. And our round 2 question this afternoon concerns words beginning with Q. In this round, we're about to show you a list of clues describing words or phrases beginning with the letter Q. We asked 100 people to tell us what each clue describes. Richard?
Yeah, we're going to show you 6 clues on each pass. The more obscure ones will score you fewer points. If you give us an incorrect answer to one of the clues, you're going to score 100 points.
OK, right, so we are looking for what each clue describes. And we have got slang term for a pound, fast-paced ballroom dance, 5 babies born from the same pregnancy, savoury egg custard baked in pastry, US TV series starring Jack Klugman, rice-like grain staple food in the Andes. I'm going to read that one more time. Slang term for a pound, fast-paced ballroom dance, 5 babies born from the same pregnancy, savoury egg custard baked in pastry, US TV series starring Jack Klugman, rice-like grain, staple food in the Andes, and a partridge in a pear tree. Mark, what are you going to say?
I think I know about 4 of them. I think the one I'm going to go for is the US TV series starring Jack Klugman, which is Quincy.
Quincy. There we are. You're saying Quincy. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Quincy. It's right. 45. Not bad. Quite a high score. 45 for Quincy, Richard.
Yeah, first broadcast in the UK in 1977, but repeated ever since, off and on in the daytime as well. Jack Klugman plays Quincy. It's based on the LA County Examiner Thomas Negocci, who, among other things, conducted Marilyn Monroe's autopsy.
There you go. Thank you very much. So then, Patrick.
I know about 3 for sure, and I can think of a rice-like grain beginning with Q, but whether it's eaten in the Andes, I'm not sure. So, I don't know, but I think I'm still going to go for it anyway, and I'm going to go for quinoa.
Quinoa?
Yeah.
Or as some people pronounce it, quinoa. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Good luck, Patrick. Quinoa. Very well done. Very well done. 18 points for quinoa. Good answer, Patrick. Richard.
Yeah, very well played. Quinoa. The Incas used to call it the mother of all grains.
OK, now then, Jess. Remember, we're looking for the words described on the board here, beginning with Q. You're the last person to have this board. Talk us through everything. Talk us through everything. You can even supply answers if you like.
The slang term for a pound is a quid, the dance is a quick step, and the 5 babies are quintuplets. Or, I don't know how you say that. But I don't know, that's quite a common answer, but I think I'm going to go for that.
OK.
Quintuplets.
Quintuplets. I'm just disagreeing with everyone's pronunciation of everything, aren't I? Right. You're saying quintuplets. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said quintuplets, Jess. It's right. 64.
Yeah.
It's a right answer, but a costly one, I would say. 64 for quintuplets, Richard.
Yeah, the first known surviving quintuplets were the Dion sisters in Canada in 1934. The fast-paced ballroom dance, of course, is a quick step, which would have scored 55. Lots of big scores here. The savoury egg custard baked in pastry is a quiche. That would have scored 79. And the slang term for a pound scores one of those very rare 100s. It's a quid. Would have scored you 100 points.
OK, thanks very much, Richard. So we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scores. On 18 points, Patrick and Kim doing very, very well. Then 45, Mark and Paul, not bad at all, with Klugman and Quincy. 64, it's not a bad score, Jess, but you are out in front. So, Mary, you're the one who has to work hardest in the next pass. Right, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more clues describing words or phrases beginning with Q on the board. And here they are. We have got female monarch, member of the Society of Friends, burger weighing 4 ounces, any animal which walks on 4 feet, sci-fi series starring Scott Bakula, birds of a feather actress, Pauline. I shall read those all one more time. Female monarch, member of the Society of Friends, burger weighing 4 ounces, any animal which walks on 4 feet, sci-fi series starring Scott Bakula, birds of a feather actress, Pauline. Now, remember, we are looking for the word or phrase each clue describes, and you're trying to find the one that the fewest of our 100 people knew. Now then, Mary.
I'm going to go for members of the Society of Friends. And I'm going to say Quaker.
Quaker,
Yep.
you are saying?
Yep.
There's no red line for you because you're the high scorers. You just have to hope this goes down as far as it possibly can. Quaker, let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Quaker.
Oh,
Is right. 55. Ooh. A punishing score there. 55 for Quaker. Who'd have thought it'd be that high?
No.
Takes your total up to 119. Richard?
dear.
Yeah, it began in England in the 1640s, the Quakers. George Fox, widely believed to have been the founder.
Kim.
Yeah.
Kim, you're on 18. You are through to the next round. I can tell you that for nothing. Even if you score 100 points, you will not overtake Mary and Jess on their 119. Bearing that in mind, why not take as big a risk as you need to find a nice low-scoring answer?
I don't think I can. I can't really, apart from the 2 ones which are fairly obvious, I can't think what the other ones are, so I'm going to have to go for burger weighing 4 ounces, which is a quarter pounder.
A quarter pounder. Let's see if that's right, and let's see how many people said quarter pounder. 80. That scores you 80 and takes your total up to 98.
Yeah, lots of big scores in this round. The quarter pounder was invented by Al Bernardin, a McDonald's franchise owner, in 1971.
Very good indeed. Thank you very much. Now then, we have the real contest on our hands, Paul. You're currently on 45. The high scorers on 119 are Jess and Mary. If you can score 73 or less, Paul, you are through to the head-to-head.
Female monarch, obviously, it's a queen, isn't it? Birds of a feather actress, Pauline Quirk. It's between the other two. And I've got answers in my head, but it's whether they're right. Any animal which walks on 4 feet is a quadruped. And the sci-fi series, which I'm not into sci-fi, but it's the only one I can think of, is Quantum Leap. I'm going to go for the animal with quadruped.
You're going to say quadruped for animals that walk on 4 feet. If quadruped gets you below that red line, you are through to the head-to-head. Let's see if quadruped's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said quadruped. Good luck, Paul. It's right. And you're through to the head-to-head. Very well done. 59. Very well done. Scores you 59, takes your total up to 104. Quadruped, Richard.
Yeah, well played, Paul. Good risk to take. From the Latin, quad meaning 4 and ped meaning foot. Let's take a look at the rest of the board. Yeah, the female monarch, obviously, is the Queen. Would have scored 98 points, not 100. The birds of a feather actress, Pauline, she'll be delighted to hear, it is Pauline Quirk, she'll be delighted to hear she scores 83 points. And the sci-fi series starring Scott Bakula, it was Quantum Leap. You were quite right, so you could have gone for that as well, would have scored 27. So that's the best answer on the board. Very well done if you said that.
Thank you very much. So, at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid, is Jess and Mary. Oh dear, who would have thought quintuplets was going to be so expensive? That was a costly
and I knew
answer.
quick step as well, so and that probably would have been enough to see a string. But...
Well, you've learnt
Yes.
right there. You've learnt the lesson of pointless. So we have to say goodbye to you now, but it'll be great seeing you next time, and I'm sure we'll do much, much better. But thanks so much meanwhile. Thank you.
Thank you.
But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are going to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. So well done, Paul and Mark, Patrick and Kim. You've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, obviously, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for the jackpot, which currently stands at £11,000. You're now going to go head-to-head on the best of 3 questions. For each question, each pair needs to give me just one answer, and you are now allowed to confer. All you have to do is come up with an answer that scores less than the other pair, and you will win that question. The first pair to get to the best of 3 will be playing for today's jackpot. Let's play Pointless. OK, here is your first question. Good luck. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Christmas #1s of the 1980s as they could.
Yeah, we're looking for any song that was a Christmas #1 in the UK charts, from Christmas 1980 through to Christmas 1989 inclusive. Different versions of the same song will only count once.
Now, Paul and Mark, because you've played best throughout the show so far, you get to go first.
We're going to try Wham! Last Christmas.
Wham! Last Christmas. OK, Patrick and Kim.
I think we're going to go for The Power of Love.
It's by Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
So we have Last Christmas by Wham! And we have The Power of Love by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. In the order they were given, Paul and Mark, Last Christmas. Is it right? How many people said it? No! I seem to remember. I think, yes, famously not #1. Patrick and Kim have gone for The Power of Love. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Again, you're not sure if that's right. Let's find out. Power of Love. How many people said it? Is it right? No! Also not Christmas #1. So after the first question, no score. Richard.
Yeah, the song to blame here is Do They Know It's Christmas, because that kept Last Christmas off #1 in 1984. Last Christmas was #2, and the song it replaced was Power of Love by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. But let's take a look at all the answers. There's No One Quite Like Grandma by St Winifred's School Choir and Save Your Love by Rennie and Renato. They were both pointless answers, as was Jackie Wilson's Reet Petite. Don't You Want Me by Human League was #1 in 1981. Pet Shop Boys, Always on My Mind, would have scored you 3 points. Let's take a look at the others. Flying Pickets, a cappella Only You, would have also scored you 3 points. Merry Christmas Everyone by Shakin' Stevens scored 11. Mistletoe and Wine by Cliff Richard scored 22. And Do They Know It's Christmas was Christmas #1 twice in the 80s, in 1984 and 1989 with Band Aid 2, would have scored you 30 points.
Thanks very much, Richard. So, here is your second question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Canadian provinces and territories as they could.
Yeah, we're looking for any of the 13 provinces or territories that make up Canada.
OK, now then, Patrick and Kim, you go first. OK, we have an answer.
We're trying to think as obscure as possible, so going for one of the more, obviously that's the name of the game. So we're going to go for one of the more remote parts of Canada, and we think we're going to go for Newfoundland.
Newfoundland, OK. You're saying Newfoundland. Paul and Mark.
We're thinking of Ottawa, Ontario, but I think we're going to go for Quebec.
You're going to go for Quebec?
Yeah.
OK. We have Newfoundland and we have Quebec. In that order, Patrick and Kim said Newfoundland. Let's see if that's right and how many people said it. Well done, it's right. Wow, 11. That's a nice low score there for Newfoundland. Let's see if Quebec can beat it. Paul and Mark going for Quebec. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Quebec. It's right. 45. Newfoundland beats that roundly. So after the second question, Patrick and Kim are up 1-0. Richard.
Yeah, very good answer. Well played, guys. So let's take a little look all 13. Prince Edward Island and Nunavut, which is the newest of Canada's territories, created in 1999. They both would have scored you 1 point. New Brunswick would have scored 2. Northwest Territories 4, Yukon Territory and Manitoba both 7. Saskatchewan would have scored you 9 points. Newfoundland, or Newfoundland and Labrador as it's sometimes called, would have scored you 11. Nova Scotia 12. Alberta 16. British Columbia 21. Ontario 41. And Quebec right at the top with 45.
OK, thanks very much. So here is your third question. Paul and Mark, you have to win this question to stay in the game. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Generation Game hosts and hostesses as they could. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any of the hosts, co-hosts or hostesses of the Generation Game up to the start of 2011. We're not looking for stand-ins on celebrity specials and that sort of thing. Just any of the hosts, co-hosts or hostesses of the Generation Game.
OK, thanks very much. Now then, Paul and Mark, you go first this time.
Well, I'm going to say... Well, we're going to say, sorry. Isla St Clair.
Isla St Clair. Patrick and Kim, you can do your talking out loud, if you like.
I think the answer we're going to go for is Larry Grayson.
OK, you're saying Larry Grayson. Paul and Mark said Isla St Clair. Let's see how many people said Isla St Clair. It's right. Ooh, it's low. Wow, look at that. 3. That's the way to do it. 3 for Isla St Clair. Very well done. Great low score there. Patrick and Kim have gone for Larry Grayson. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Larry Grayson. Very well done. It's right. Ooh, 31. Well, 3 beats 31. So after 3 questions, you are 1-1. Absolutely even. Richard.
Yeah, Isla St Clair, very, very good answer. Well done. There were a few answers that would have beaten it, but they were mainly people who worked with on the Jim Davidson series. Let's take a look. Stefania Alexander worked with Brucey when it made a brief comeback on cable. Leah Christensen, Francine Lewis, also pointless. They worked with Jim Davidson, as did Sally Mean and Melanie Stace, who would have scored you 1. Isla St Clair there with 3. And Rosemary Ford, who worked with Brucey, who scored 5, as did Anthony Redfern, also worked with Brucey. She scored 8. Then the 3 hosts there, Jim Davidson, 26, Larry Grayson, 31, and Brucey on 80.
Here is your next question. Whoever wins this question will be through to the final and will be playing for that £11,000 jackpot. Very best of luck. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Roddy Doyle novels as they could. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any of the 9 fictional novels written by Roddy Doyle up to the start of 2011. We're not looking for plays or short stories or his children's books. Any of the 9 novels of Roddy Doyle.
OK, now, Patrick and Kim, you go first this time.
Pretty sure, yeah. OK, yeah, we were between 2 there, but I think I'm going to go risk the obscure one and go for, I think it's called The Woman Who Walked Into Doors.
The Woman Who Walked Into Doors, you are saying. OK, The Woman Who Walked Into Doors. Now then, Paul and Mark, The Woman Who Walked Into Doors has gone.
Well, this is not one of our strong subjects at all.
Just going to have to have a
little
guess,
stab,
I think. The Man Upstairs.
So we have The Woman Who Walked Into Doors and we have The Man Upstairs. Let's take them in that order. Patrick and Kim said The Woman Who Walked Into Doors. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Good luck. That's right. It's a correct answer. The Woman Who Walked Into Doors, down she goes. Number 3. The score's 3. Very well done indeed. Now then, Paul and Mark, you have said The Man Upstairs. Let's see if that's a correct answer, and if it is, let's see how many people said The Man Upstairs. Yeah, I'm afraid that is an incorrect answer, as you probably guessed. Which means that brilliant low score, Patrick and Kim, earns you your place in the final after 4 questions. Patrick and Kim are through to the final 2-1. Richard.
Yeah, there were 2 answers that would have beaten The Woman Who Walked Into Doors. Let's take a look at what they were. The follow-up, in fact, to The Woman Who Walked Into Doors, Paula Spencer. That is the name of the very woman. She would have scored 1, as would Oh Play That Thing, one of the 3 Henry Smart novels. The Woman Who Walked Into Doors, 3. The Snapper, 3. The Dead Republic, 3. That's the 3rd Henry Smart book. Star Called Henry, that's another Henry Smart book, 4. Then The Van with 6. Paddy Clark, Ha Ha Ha, which won the Booker Prize, of course. And The Commitments is most famous of all with 12 points. Very well played, guys.
Thank you very much, Richard. So the losing pair at the end of the head-to-head, I'm afraid it's Paul and Mark. Did you know any of those books?
No.
The Commitments, obviously. I've heard of The Commitments,
yeah.
But
Well,
a strong point of mine, literature.
Well, you've done phenomenally well. You've come storming through the game, right through to the head-to-head, and you've made it a nail-biter even up to this far. We will have to say goodbye to you at this stage, but we will see you again next time. We look forward to that very much indeed. Thank you very much for playing. Thanks. But for Patrick and Kim, it's now time for our pointless final and the chance to win our jackpot of £11,000. Well, congratulations, Patrick and Kim. You fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy. So very, very well done. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at an incredible £11,000. Now, the rules are very simple. To win that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people could think of. We haven't had any pointless answers on the show today. You only have to find one now, and you will go home with that money. First, though, you've got to choose a category, and you can choose from these 3 options. You can go for countries, footballers, or politicians.
They're actually, I was expecting some horrible categories.
They're quite good for our strengths, aren't they?
Politicians, we do politics, so that's tempting.
Countries, we're both quite good at geography-ish.
Yeah.
But I think Patrick's a real whiz at football. He's an encyclopedia of knowledge.
So, well, that's putting me on a lot of pressure now. But I think I couldn't.
It's up to you,
down.
but I think.
That's all right with you. I don't know.
Yeah, you.
I don't think I could turn
It's
down a
definitely the best
football
out of the
question.
three.
So I think we'll go for footballers.
Very spoiled for choice. That so rarely happens on this show. OK, well, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Champions League final scorers as they could.
Yeah, we're looking for any player who's ever scored in a Champions League final, from the first Champions League final in 1993 through to the 2010 final.
OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that £11,000 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Your 60 seconds start now.
Right. I think not the English teams, because, you know, people are going to maybe, you know, support one of those teams and go for one of those.
People from the 90s.
I know in 1997, Borussia Dortmund won.
Sounds good.
Won it. And I know a player called Lars Ricken scored the goal.
Really good mates with him.
Yeah. I think last year's final was probably
bit recent.
Too recent. But
Any like
could go for
Think of a third.
Melito scored last year.
Those 2 first ones sound good, definitely.
And also, I remember the final against Arsenal. It's a player called Balletti scored. So
maybe those 3 more.
Yeah,
3 more.
5 seconds left.
Okay, Balletti, Melito.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're...
OK, we are there. Your time is up. We were looking for Champions League final scorers. I now need your 3 answers.
OK, I think the most obscure one is a guy called Lars Ricken.
Lars Ricken.
Probably the second most obscure is a player called Giuliano Balletti.
Giuliano Balletti.
And then Diego Milito, who scored last season.
Diego Milito.
I think that would be quite... Well, maybe
OK, well, you've said in reverse order of obscurity, which I'm guessing you'd want to put
Ricken last.
Milito first, yeah.
And Milito first.
Yeah.
Yes.
OK, let's put them up on the board in that order. Here they are. Diego Milito, Giuliano Balletti, and Lars Ricken. We were looking for Champions League final scorers. You said this was your least confident answer. Confident?
Not on this one, but Well...
Too recent in people's memories.
Yeah, too
okay.
fresh in the
Okay,
minds, yeah.
Diego Milito. Let's see if it's right, obviously, and if so, let's see how many people said Diego Milito. Well, it's right. Down it comes. Now nice and low, into the teens, into single figures, still going down. Look at that, 2. Well, Patrick and Kim. That's not a pointless answer, but we can draw a lot of comfort from that, I think. OK, you only have 2 more chances to win today's jackpot. £11,000. What would you do with £11,000?
Massive holiday.
I think
Really expensive
we'll be leaving the
holiday.
country ASAP, probably.
OK, well, very, 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 very best of luck. We are looking for Champions League final scorers. Your next answer, Giuliano Belletti. How did you come up with this answer?
It's quite a traumatic answer for me. He scored the winning goal against Arsenal in the final, 2006, so that's why I remember, really. Yeah, not for the right reasons, but for a reason, so...
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Giuliano Belletti. Very, very best of luck. Well, it's right. Diego Milito came down to 2. Giuliano Belletti. Let's see how far he's going to go down. £11,000 riding on this. We're in single figures. Down it goes. Yes! Look at that! Brilliant. Very, very, very well done indeed. Thank you. Brilliant. Oh, congratulations. Bravo, you managed to find that all-important pointless answer, which means you do go home with our jackpot of £11,000. What about that? A very, very popular win as well. Superb. I'm just going to let you digest that for a second or two. Richard, what about that?
Yeah, brilliant. Well done, guys. Well done, Patrick, especially for getting that. Really, really well-deserved as well. Lars Ricken, also a pointless answer. Very well done. Scored for Borussia Dortmund. Should we take a look at some other pointless answers? Because I know some people at home will have got some of these. Let's take a look. Basil Bowley, who scored for Marseille. He was pointless. Deco, who scored for Porto. Also pointless Fabrizio Ravanelli, who scored in the final for Juventus. Pointless answer. Fernando Morientes for Real Madrid. Karl-Heinz Riedler, who scored 2 goals also in that Borussia Dortmund final that Lars Ricken scored in. Lucio, who scored for Bayer Leverkusen but then lost. Paolo Maldini, who scored in 1 minute against Liverpool for AC Milan. Patrick Kluivert for Ajax, and then Sol Campbell, of course, who scored Arsenal's goal in that final. He was also a pointless answer.
Thank you very much, Richard. Well, thanks once again to our winning players, Patrick and Kim, who go away with today's jackpot of £11,000. Very, very well done, you. Join us next time, and we'll be putting more obscure knowledge to the test on Pointless. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.